Hello students, today I'm your English teacher. My name is Ilona Sekretova and we talk about passives review. Passive voice is used when something is done to the subject. For example, the clouds were blown away by the wind. The dog is taken for a walk by Mr. Brown. The general formula. To be plus verb in third form. Present simple, to be, am, is, are. For example, I'm always asked to look after his dog. Past simple, to be, was, were. For example, I was asked to look after his dog yesterday. Future simple, to be, shall or will be. For example, I shall be asked at the next lesson. Look at the hour table. In future simple, we need to use will be plus verb in third form. In perfect, we use will have been plus verb in third form. In present simple, we use am, is, are plus verb in third form. Progressive, am, is, are, being plus verb in third form. In the perfect, have or has been plus verb in third form. Past, we use in simple was, were plus verb in third form. In progressive, was, were, being plus verb in third form. And in perfect, had been plus verb in third form. Pay attention. Example, the hunter killed the bird. In passive voice, the bird was killed by the hunter. The subject and the object replaced each other. If it is known or not important who did the action, miss it in the sentence in passive voice. They built the church in the 18th century, or the church was built in the 18th century. We don't need to use by them. If you want to say who did it or what caused the action, use by. If you want to change the sentence from active into passive, you must. The company often sends Tom abroad. First, change the subject and the object. Tom, and in the end, by the company. Second, find the verb and find out its tense. We use sends in present simple. Third, put the verb into the formula of this tense in passive according to the subject. Is sent. And we have in passive voice, Tom is often sent abroad by the company. Passive voice. We use passive forms when A. We don't know who did it. For example, the window was broken an hour ago. B. We are interested in what happens, not who it is done by. For example, his watch was stolen in the street. C. The situation is rather formal. For example, smoking is not allowed. There are 8 forms of the verbs in the passive voice. Present simple, am, is, are plus verb in third form. Example, the work is done. Past simple, was, were plus verb in third form. Example, the work was done. In future simple, will be, shall be plus verb third. Example, the work will be done. In present progressive, is, are, being plus verb in third form. Example, the work is being done. Past progressive, was, were, being plus verb in third form. Example, the work was being done. Present perfect, have been plus verb in third form. The work has been done. Past perfect, had plus verb in third form. Example, the work had been done. In future perfect, will have been plus verb in third form. And our example, the work will have been done. Remember, if we want to say who does the action, we use by. Example, this house was built by my grandfather. 200 people are employed by the company. If somebody does the action with the help of instruments, we use with. And example, meat should be cut with a knife. Food in Japan is eaten with chopsticks. Passive voice with the verbs that have two objects. Some verbs can have two objects. For example, we gave the police of the information. We use the object one and we see object second. So it is possible to make two passive sentences. The police were given the information, or the information was given to the police. Other verbs which can have two objects are ask, offer, pay, refuse, send, show, teach, tell. Passive voice with modal verbs. We use must be plus verb in third form, can be plus verb in third form, may be plus verb in third form. Example, it must be done, or it can be done. Present perfect passive. Look at our formula. We use I, we, you, they have been done. He, she, it has been done. In questions, have I, we, you, they been done? Has she, he, it been done? In negative sentence, I, we, you, they have not been done, or we can use haven't. He, she, it has not been done. We use hasn't. Examples. We have already investigated the problem. Here the active. The problem has already been investigated. In passive. We haven't investigated the problem yet. This sentence in active. The problem has not been investigated yet. And here we use passive. Past perfect passive. I, we, you, they had been done. He, she, it had been done. In questions, had I, we, you, they been done? Had he, she, it been done? In negative sentence, I, we, you, they had not been done, or we can use hadn't. He, she, it had not been done. We use hadn't. Examples. We will have investigated the problem by 2030. Here we use active, future perfect dative. The problem will have been investigated by 2030. Here in passive. We will not have investigated the problem by the end of the year. Here we use active. The problem will not have been investigated by the end of the year. And here in passive. The active voice describes a sentence where the subject performs the action stated by the verb. It follows a clear subject plus verb plus object construct that's easy to read. In fact, sentences constructed in the active voice add impact to your writing. Look at the picture and our example. In active, beautiful giraffes roam the savannah, and in passive, the savannah is roamed by beautiful giraffes. With passive voice, the subject is acted upon by the verb. It makes for a murky, roundabout sentence. You can be more straightforward with active voice. As such, there are many ways to change the passive voice to the active voice in your sentence. Over time, writing in the active voice will become second nature. Let's explore several examples of active and passive voice to reduce your use of the passive voice where the active voice is preferred. Before we explore a wealth of examples, let's review some active writing tips. You'll notice that in the passive voice examples below there are a few key words. Examples include is roamed, is viewed, was changed, was run, were eaten, were corrected. Pay special attention to the subject in each sentence. Is the subject performing the action denoted by the verb? If so, chances are you have a nice, clear sentence written in active voice. In the passive voice, however, the subject is no longer performing the action of the verb. Rather, it's being acted upon by the verb. Put another way, the subject of a sentence in the passive voice is no longer the doer of the action, but the recipient of the action. Meanwhile, what was the subject of a sentence in the active voice, the doer, becomes the agent in the equivalent passive voice sentence. Active and passive voice comparison. As you read through the following example sentence, you'll start to become an active voice expert. Active voice: Harry ate 6 shrimp at dinner. Passive voice: at dinner 6 shrimp were eaten by Harry. Beautiful giraffes roam the savannah. In passive, the savannah is roamed by beautiful giraffes. In active, Sue changed the flat tire. In passive, the flat tire was changed by Sue. We are going to watch a movie tonight. A movie is going to be watched by us tonight. I ran the obstacle course in record time. The obstacle course was run by me in record time. The crew paved the entire stretch of highway. The entire stretch of highway was paved by the crew. Mom read the novel in one day. The novel was read by Mom in one day. I will clean the house every Saturday. The house will be cleaned by me every Saturday. The company requires staff to watch a safety video every year. The staff are required by the company to watch a safety video every year. Tom painted the entire house. The entire house was painted by Tom. The teacher always answers the students' questions. The students' questions are always answered by the teacher. The whore really enjoys that piece. That piece is really enjoyed by the whore. A forest fire destroyed the whole suburb. The whole suburb was destroyed by a forest fire. The two kings are signing their treaty. The treaty is being signed by the two kings. The cleaning crew vacuums and dusts the office every night. Every night the office is vacuumed and dusted by the cleaning crew. Larry generously donated money to the homeless shelter. Money was generously donated to the homeless shelter by Larry. The wedding planner is making all the reservations. All the reservations are being made by the wedding planner. Susan will bake 2 dozen cupcakes for the bake sale. 2 dozen cookies baked by Susan for the bake sale. The science class viewed the comet. The comet was viewed by the science class. The director will give you instructions. Instructions will be given to you by the director. Thousands of tourists visit the Grand Canyon every year. The Grand Canyon is visited by thousands of tourists every year. The homeowners remodeled the house to help it sell. The house was remodeled by the homeowners to help it sell. The salt water corroded the metal beams. The metal beams were corroded by the salt water. The kangaroo carried her baby in her pouch. The baby was carried by the kangaroo in her pouch. Reported speech, passive reporting structures. You have probably noticed that news reporters often use phrases like "it is believed that" or "the suspect is known to be." In fact, there's a name for these structures. They are called passive reporting structures. Meaning and use of passive reporting structures. In informal language, we often use impersonal expressions like "people think that," "they say that," "they expect that." In newspapers, reports, and other more formal writing, this idea is often expressed with a structure based on a passive reporting verb. Passive structures hide the source of the information because it is obvious or the source is unimportant or unknown. And examples: it is thought that, it is said that, it is expected that. It is thought, it is said. Consider the following examples. People think that the clothing chain looking good is in trouble. They say that the shop is offering huge discounts. They expect that the company will close next month. It is thought that the clothing chain Looking Good is in trouble. It is said that the shop is offering huge discounts. It is expected that the company will close next month. The structure here is it plus verb to be plus past participle of the reporting verb plus that plus clause. Verbs which are often used in this way include assume, believe, consider, estimate, expect, hope, know, report, say, think. Note: these verbs are most frequently used in simple and perfect tenses in the present and past. Remember that verbs like believe, hope, know, think, understand are not used in continuous tenses. Subject plus passive reporting verb plus to infinitive. Using the examples above, we can also use this passive structure. For example, Looking Good is thought to be in trouble. The shop is said to be offering huge discounts. The company is expected to close next month. And our lesson is over. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.